Alright, so I finally did it. The top 21 tips to make you a better player. Alright, so some of these aren't 100% serious, but I did my best. So, what's going on here is we were tracking these guys down in this little town. They'd gotten guns first, so we ran away, got some guns, and then came back to hunt them. So my first tip, I've said this in other videos, but it is listen. Get up next to a building and just listen. And I heard these guys in here. I told my partner that they were in this building, so he came to the other door. I'm taking a peek in the windows, and I'm going to enter. So my next tip is shoot early. As soon as you start seeing them, shoot. Just start shooting. It throws their game off, gives you the upper hand. When I see this guy, I go ahead and start trying to flank him. It works great because if people are trying to use their sights, they won't be able to get to you. The next tip, don't be a hero. Get out of there. So I knew if I could get around behind the guy, I might get a chance to get him, but my partner was able to finish him off. Next tip. When you down a guy, you tell your partner that you downed that guy. Or tell him if he died instantly or not. So, that guy had a partner and we didn't know. My partner didn't tell me that he had to put extra rounds in him to take him out. So make sure you rub it in your partner that it's his fault that he died and that you're not a hero. That will really upset your partner though, so be careful with that one. Alright, another tip right here. If you have the upper hand, use it. That guy has got the upper hand on me. So I thought maybe I could get a little headshot on him, but he never pokes his head out until I put my gun away. It's like he knew. And he also knew I was going to have bad aiming. So I figured, you know what? Instead of letting him have the high ground, I'm going to take the high ground. And he totally gives it up. That's his mistake. So make them pay for their mistakes. Don't give up the high ground. Alright, and a little bit, so some of these tips I'm giving you are, I'm kind of goofing off. But I'm going to get to my must tips. If you want to get a chicken dinner, I've got some musts, and I'll point those out to you in just a minute. So here, I snuck all the way over here, walked right past this dude to my right. You're about to see him. So, if you're going to commit to being a grass snake, commit to being a lousy grass snake. Don't get up and start walking around. Man, you just embarrassed yourself. An easy kill for me. Alright, so coming up here you're going to see my mistake. So when I got these two guys here, I started taking shots on the one. I didn't know he had a partner until he said I knocked him. And then I see his partner. When that guy goes down, I automatically assumed I killed the second guy. I don't know how I made that mistake. Right here is when I realized it. Boom, when he starts shooting me. So pay attention to... I should have actually gotten 2 kills if I had been paying attention more. So, the consequences are I died like a chump. So don't die like a chump like I did. Alright, if you're at the beginning of a game and you don't have a gun, get out of there and go find a stinking gun. This guy goes and gets his buddy with a shotgun. So I'm going after the biggest threat. Now, I don't care about the guy who doesn't have a gun. And I'm backing away from the guy with a shotgun. And right there, if you don't have a gun, don't be a nincompoop and rush the guy. Oh, yeah. Right now, the way the game is working, if you go straight in a vehicle and the passenger can actually use a couple health kits or bandages or energy drinks or whatever. So give that a shot. See if that helps you out right now. They may change that in a later patch, but right now you can do that. Oh, I got a great tip coming up right here. Tip 13, use the grenades to send both of them to heaven. Yes. Glorious. Make sure you loot quick whenever you're in this area. So I'm just going to loot these guys, and we're going to get out of there because we know the circle's coming. And we picked the best spot we can think of, which is right here. Don't know if that was the greatest spot, but we were still trying to survey the area. You know, when you're in these little buildings, you don't know where this circle is going to be. So we got a little worried right there. So a tip, if you get stuck in this situation, just try to use your buddy's head as a boost to get over the wall. But it really doesn't work. So we're going to take our painkillers, as we know we're going to have to go into the circle just for a moment. The fastest way, I checked the circle real quick, or the map real quick, was to go to the right. So we get over here, step inside the building. I'm just kind of watching. I'd wanted, look at the mini map right there. I wanted to go to the wall, the retainer wall, but I'd changed my mind. So, the next tip, if you don't know where you're going in these buildings, don't tell your partner that you do. I totally did this to Scuba. I was like, come follow me, I know where to go. Reminded me of Indiana Jones and Marcus telling him how he knew where to go. Anyways, I thought there was a door right there and I could get out. But that didn't turn out to be that way. Thank goodness we got out of there just fast enough. Now here's where we make our mistake. Scuba splits from me and for some reason goes to those retainer walls, but that's not where the circle's going. So I don't know if he wasn't paying attention. When I start getting shot up, I just run in here and get myself killed. So don't split up from your team. That makes me a nincompoop. Alright, now we're getting into the musts. If you're having a hard time getting the chicken dinners, these are the must tips that you have to do. When you're late in the game, if you're about to enter a building and the doors are shut, be suspicious of that building. We went around, I listened, we looked in every single window, and now we're finally entering. My next must, whenever the circle gets down to the third, you want to get in a vehicle. When the circle breaks down into the third time it's shrinking, get in a vehicle and drive to the middle of the third circle. That's going to be your best spot to be. You'll have a 50-50 chance of being in the next circle. Okay, right here. I want you to learn how to run in a building and shut the door immediately. Scuba didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was running in and out just trying to make this clip of the video. My other tip was I opened the door so that it went out. So that way people would think that we had left. So that was part of setting our trap. Scuba right here, he's watching these guys. So the big tip that I've got for you here is if you're not getting chicken dinners and you need to, whenever you're down, like there's only 10 people left alive, do not shoot unless you have to. He could have gotten these guys right here. He may have been able to take one of them out before the other one jumped up and ran away, but everyone around us would have known we were in here. So he hesitates, and perfect. I mean, it was just perfect gameplay. And you'll see how this actually works out in our benefit. There's a guy who actually sneaks into our building, and if he'd have been shooting, that guy would have been on high alert. So, I'm going to rewind that a little bit. I'm looking at the map. The guy comes into our building, and I go after him. If Scuba had been shooting those guys, we might have been dead, or at least one of us. So I go back into the trap spot. He's watching those guys, telling me what's going on. So I'm sneaking around because we're down to just the final two. He knew where they were at because he'd been watching them the whole time. So we're finally going to unleash on them. So I'm going to check our back here and make sure they're not coming up behind us as he's watching the front. And when he spots that guy, the guy must have spotted him as well. And he knocks that guy, and he tells me. So I spring into action, throw the grenade, and then I decide it's time to just go full force with the Tommy gun. This is why I carry a short-range weapon. At the end of the game, a short-range weapon with high capacity is fantastic for taking guys out. So as he's healing up, I just want to take it to this guy until he's ready to come in and assist me. So I switch to the Scar, and we get the chicken dinner. Anyways, hope those tips helped. Hope you found some of them funny. Get out there and win some games.